Quit eating animals.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Quit Eating Animals Show, episode 3. We are live again for 2 days in a row. Appreciate you joining us or catching up on this on the replay. Either way, episode 3 is now live, and we're excited to be here. February 19th, 2023. A lot going on today, a lot of comments over the weekend. And again, leaving this episodes on just, generating from the comments, and we'll just kind of talk about through some of the comments on our, my perspective on where I'm coming from on each of my responses. And, it's a couple back and forths. And then a couple of things that I didn't realize or got me to realize regarding other animals that we don't normally think of or do we normally eat every day, or at least normally that I never grew up eating, and that is frogs. So frogs, one of my coworkers made mention that they were gonna have the grandkids over, and then they were gonna do frog legs this weekend, and a comment was posted this weekend as well regarding frog legs. So it got me to think. To go out and do a little bit more research on, are there frog farms? I mean, I remember seeing videos on frog farms. Are there frog farms in the United States where I know that we eat them, obviously, in the United States, but, where they produce, are there little local frog farms? How are they produced? I know, it got me thinking and looking at a couple research out there in China and Thailand and in a couple overseas countries. They have some massive frog farms that are just absolutely, it's terrible looking at all those frogs packed in one. And so we'll take a look at that and see what that is. But this episode's really just about responding to some comments. And if you got more questions, feel free to drop more comments and we'll respond to those. But that's kind of where how we'll frame the episode here, Sunday, February 19th, 2023. All right, so I'm going to try to go ahead and share my screen here. Let's see. Boom, sharing the screen, and you can see these comments. So what I'll do, you see me in the down here corner. So we'll just kind of start from the top down as far as YouTube comments right here. And so off-brand vegan teacher 1 hour ago, JoJo. Appreciate that, man. I think that's good. I heard of the vegan teacher. I think they got a lot of she got a lot of followers. I haven't really watched a lot of her stuff, but I appreciate that. I think this will help a lot of people, and we're trying to do it in our way. If this, if you like this, go ahead and hit the like button, hit subscribe. Never know what videos that we're gonna come out. But either way, I'm not here to go against anybody or fight with anybody or get out of control, but I like the back and forth. So if you do comment, expect, or at least now, we got enough time here to respond to each and every one of you. So, feel free to engage back and forth. And I'm just trying to get a feeling of, where you're at, what type of, are you serious about this? Are you, why did you land on this channel? Why are you engaging? And I think the back and forth is going to help you, as an individual who continues to eat animals. It's going to open your mind up a little bit. And I think, that's the whole purpose of what we're trying to do is reconnect you with animals. And I say reconnect, we all had it at one point when we were born, but then we were taught through habits and tradition and our families. I mean, and, we're just not asking the questions of what's happening, what we were eating, why is it necessary? We just didn't find ourselves asking those questions. Now that we do ask those questions and more research is coming, it's like, why do we continue to do that? So, challenging where you're at. I mean, everybody's on different paths, some of us, many, many, many years in, that are kind of unwilling to change. They're more stubborn to change. Whereas I think the new generation, or the younger folks are a little bit, more, easier to influence. And then they, their little minds are a little bit more open. And I think that's naturally because they haven't had enough time, or all those years after years after years after years having Thanksgiving dinner with a turkey on the table. And so I think it's more common now that you'll see more different different options that people can enjoy without partaking in the suffering and death of an animal. All right. So off-brand vegan teacher, appreciate you, JoJo. Worst time to tell me to stop because I'm eating chicken breast as I'm scrolling through YouTube. Think about it. A lot of us eat chicken, all day. It's just one of those common, meals or animals that we go to. Especially if people refer to lean protein, a lot of it they're referring to chicken. So, I don't think that you're lying about eating chicken breast while scrolling through. But I'm glad. I think it's actually the best time for people to realize this or come across the content because, like, as you're eating, you should question, like, what is it that I'm eating? Why am I eating that? What is it that I can eat instead? How does it make me feel? Right, and take that process all the way back to the very individual or for the very beginning of that chicken's life and how it ended up on your plate and into your mouth and into your stomach. So think about that stuff when you're eating. I want you to. That's the best. I'm gonna eat a deer. Yeah, we get in Michigan here. A lot of hunters out here have a lot of conversations with deer. Hunting. A lot of people think it's population control or deer control. And that's a whole nother story. But deer, they're amazing. And obviously this came from one of the videos on the deer crossing. We got a lot of deer in our neighborhood. We live in a cul-de-sac in a kind of a secluded little area, and families of deer pods. They're all over the place, and so it's fun to see them all around. And we go slow, and they stay together. There's a cool video where family walk across the street. They all got across the street together, and then one was hanging out up on the other side. And looked over to kind of like was like, well, are you gonna go? Like, are you gonna go? Like, are you gonna go? Are you gonna go? And then finally the deer went ahead and crossed the road, and it was exciting, and everybody applauded, and kids were super excited that they made it. And but the deers were interacting, right? They were looking at, like, they knew, and it's they have they think about these things, and they have a mind, and so it's certainly really cool since we went vegan and quit eating animals. Like, we've really connected, I think, more and more to each and all living animals in a certain way. And we live right by a buffalo, a bison farm, right across, right as we pull out of our street and make it right, go about half a mile, a little less than that, and there on the right, there's a whole family of bison. And one of the signs, it's if you want fresh bison meat or meat or jerky, call this number. So it's they're awesome to see, but knowing that the ultimate outcome of it is someone pulling up and putting a bullet into their head and taking one of their family members away because someone decided to purchase them for, to eat their flesh, is just something that, it's just normalized in society now. But now, since we've been vegan, looking at it from a different perspective, it's certainly, it's all around us. And, it's interesting. And I think the more conversations that we have, the better. And that's what we're doing. So, again, if you like this channel, go ahead and hit the like button. If you like this video, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Trying to, reach a lot more people. And I think that we're going to be doing this a lot more. And I think this is going to be a sustainable way, because I don't mind, going live as soon as you hit, done. It uploads it, and then there it is. Not a lot of editing from it, but I know that we're going to be putting in more editing videos or other type of videos that will take some editing. But I think that this live these responses are pretty good for those the long form, like sit down and just kind of listen to ramble about different responses. All right. Let's see here. Turnip deer looking good. Backstraps, best thing ever. I'm asking why they're the best things ever. Okay. So here's one right here. Let's open this one up a little further. I'm not sure if you can see this. This one is how about no? So this is from Diomedes Rogue. How about no? Here's a thought for you. Did you ever consider humans are omnivores for a reason? Also, did you know that if everyone went vegan, it wouldn't be sustainable due to the sheer amount of farmland needed? Less we deforested the rest of the country. Then you got to factor in the animals they were already slaughtering. What happens to them? Their domesticated release them into the wild. They'll die, kill off them. Counterintuitive to your cause. Keep them as pets, too expensive. All in all, being vegan is not a viable alternative diet long term for any country, nor should it be. Okay, so I'll spend a little bit of time on this for Domedius. So humans are omnivores for a reason. Yes, I think over time that we've shown that we have the ability to digest animal proteins and animal flesh. I think what we're seeing is that a lot of disease and bad things are happening to the human body as we continue to eat animals and animal products. Okay, so even though it seems like we're able to and we're able to kind of get through the day to day, I think long term it's harming and hurting our body. Okay, so we believe that the optimal diet, if you want to call it, is a whole foods plant-based diet, which is all plants. I mean, it literally is all plants, but it's all whole foods. It's not processed. It's not it's not the Impossible burgers or things like that. These are whole foods. Plants, vegetables, the actual plants and vegetables. Okay, not processed at all. We believe that is the best optimal nutrition for the human body. Everything that we've studied and researched and looked up, everything is pointing that way as long as you get a variety of them. Okay, so yes, I think we've evolved or our bodies have become like, consuming animal meats. But again, if our bodies are not designed to properly digest them and use the nutrients from them, they're gonna continue to harm our body, regardless. So I think that even though we isn't the optimal way that we should be eating. Okay, so if everyone went vegan, it wouldn't be sustainable due to the sheer amount of farmland needed. So this is a kind of a misconception. We don't need any more area than we have now. We can use the area that we have now if we're no longer going to be raising animals into existence or breeding them into existence. We can use that, that farmland for more vegetables. But in all, look how many vegetables and plants we feed to the animals already. Okay, so that sheer amount, we have enough to feed the entire population. We just have to stop breeding animals into existence only to slaughter them and kill them. So, this isn't like we need more area and it's not sustainable. We already have the area. We just need to kind of shift our mindset of, instead of farming animals and animal agriculture, we need to shift that and start farming vegetables and more plants to kind of keep that going. So that's not really what we need is farmland. Then you go factor in the animals that are already slaughtering. So yes, we breed animals into existence, raise them to a certain age. It's a very young age, by the way. And then we kill them, and then only to bring more into existence and go through the whole food production line per the animals. And so what's going to happen to them? So first of all, this isn't going to happen. No one, and I would love for it to happen. I put out a video, and then all of a sudden, everyone who sees it, all of a sudden turns vegan and quit eating animals. I mean, I would think that that's fantastic. The problem with that is that's not true. That's not going to happen. So this may affect 1, 2, 3 of you. It may affect 10 or 100 or 1,000, and it may be 6, 7 years from now. So this is a gradual progression of people realizing that you don't need to consume animals anymore, and you are replacing what you're used to with plant-based options. And so it's going to happen gradually over time. And then as this happens, the supply is going to go down because the demand is going to go down. As the demand is up, right? Everyone's buying meat. Oh yeah, meat this, meat that. Meat this, meat that. Right? Like okay, they need to make more. They need to make more. They need to make more. But now we're not going to have that if we're not going to eat animals if we're going to, progressively reduce the amount of animals we eat to the optimal amount, which is 0, right? And I encourage everybody, again, we're all, getting to 0. I think that that's the whole mission and then the goal. I think that the sooner that you can get there, the better you're going to feel. And then you're going to thank us. You're going to just be, I just can't describe all the good things that happen when that you do become, fully quit eating all animals and all their entire products. You're just going to feel so much better in so many different ways. And that's another video in itself. But so this isn't something that is going to happen over like immediately slap our fingers and things are going to happen. So we're going to gradually reduce the amount. I think that the whole thing is to, why are we going to continue to do this when we don't have to? You can choose to eat something else. You can choose to purchase a plant-based option. And so once enough of us do that and we continue to choose plant-based options, right, we no longer have the need to raise these animals into existence, to slaughter them, to kill them, to chop up their body parts, ship them around, and then we continue to buy them. All right. So I hope that answers that. There's Chick-fil-A. I think we went over that yesterday. And this is just going by date, I think. This really inspired me to eat animals. I think if you come across this content, right, and it says quitting animals, I think those that say that it inspired them to eat animals, I think you have to ask yourself why. I mean, if it really did, if it really, inside your heart, it drove you like, wow, I'm going to eat animals. I think we have a bigger issue and a bigger problem that I hope is this will raise the awareness, and you have to be like, man. Excuse me. If that is the way that we handle, feeling conflicted, if we go out and say, you know what, I'm going to, go, contribute to killing an animal and eat it, like, because I've watched this, like, aha, like, man, that is a deep, like, confliction, and we call that cognitive dissonance. It's that, like, it's you kind of know it's wrong, but yet the way that you deal with it is to go straight at it and then partake in it more and then say, look, haha. And so I think that's just kind of a bigger thing. Another, I think realistically people comment to try to be funny. That's another way to eliminate that conflicted feeling. Is another way is to provide humor. So you'll see like, a comment that we get a lot is I'm just helping your animals, or I'm killing the animals that are eating your food. And like, no, that's not actually what's happening, because last time I checked, no one eats grass. So I mean, come on. And so that's not realistic. All right. This time really, okay, so I'm going to get some steak, want one. And again, if it causes you to want to go eat an animal by me talking about it, I think that, like, man, we're really deep into it. And I think that just raises a situation where you should look deep inside of, like, man, what, you're really kind of hooked to this, and certainly need to address that sooner rather than later. And I think the more that you stick around here, we'll be able to do that for you. The more that you engage, the more that you question, I think that you'll ultimately see that it's the optimal right answer to be partaking in. All right, so we talk about the circle of life. People forget about this planet and the species of human. We're created the hunter-gatherers. Hunting has been a thing. Okay, and then so I did a little clip on hunters-gatherers. Okay, this is one that I didn't respond to. This was 2 hours ago, and this one was good from Little Dead Riding Hood. How about no? And I just engaged again, just a comment. Why do you say that? Okay. This is the response that we got. Let me see. So, humans are animals, and getting a lion to be healthy and eat tofu or fofu or false meat is the equivalent of feeding your dog store brand kibble. Most of the animals killed for market would have been hunted down and eaten by other animals way before its due time. So people should eat meat, even if the lesser on the food chain was a grass fed vegan. He would be in the soup of the day alongside his beloved veggies. Nothing we do in the small time frame of human life besides industrial damage, and at a time an asteroid or meteor could come down and reset the clock, which in itself is an astral body consuming another. So is the circle of life. Okay, if that was a mouthful, and that was, we went a lot of different ways on this response here, Little Dead Riding Hood. And again, I appreciate the response, and you can see my response there. But I think let's just kind of talk and pick away at this, getting a lion to be healthy. So first of all, a lion is a true carnivore, meaning like it needs its natural survival instinct is to kill and hunt other animals. I mean, they do it for survival. But when you look at carnivores and lions and tigers, I mean, they have claws to do so, right? They have the power to do so. They rip these animals apart. And they don't, they don't feel bad about it because it's natural for them. They need to do it. No one's out there, there's no supermarkets for lions and tigers to go to and purchase plant-based options. Their bodies aren't designed to consume those things, right? It doesn't do that. A carnivore's body is designed to process raw meat, and that's exactly what it does. It's very short, and it processes long meat, so the digestive system is very fast. But what happens is you notice that lions and tigers, when they eat these animals, I mean, they stuff themselves and they're tired and they're exhausted, right? Because they have like a spurt of energy. Whereas plant-based foods and options and animals, right, they make you feel energized and have long energy and they can run long distance. That's one of the differences. But in a sense, the lion, this isn't about a lion being healthy. A lion needs to eat other animals and kill other animals. Okay, that's the difference. Humans do not need to kill other animals. Although we talked about, yes, humans are omnivores, meaning we're able to process meats and things of such, but is it harming our body? Yes, that's been proven, and that's continued to being proven. And so the more time that goes by, the more research that's done, we're going to find out that yes, animal proteins and as we consume animals and their products, it is harming our body long term. Okay, we're already seeing this. The number one killer in the United States is heart disease. It comes from animal products. This is what it comes from. So we have to start paying attention. And a lot of it's genetics. Like it's really the way that your parents brought you up to eat. It's how it's just what was at the dinner table. And that's what we have. Like that's what we went by. We never questioned it. All right. And she went into a whole different, all sorts of different things. Would be killed for market, and I think we went over this. It wouldn't happen like that. And so to kill animals just so other animals it wouldn't starve out there. I mean, this isn't the natural ecosystem of wild animals out there and taking care of themselves. I mean, the problem is the animals that we eat, 99.9% of the animals we eat are bred into existence to be slaughtered in an environment, in a production facility for obviously money, to produce like food that we do not need. It is not a necessity to eat any animals or do this to the animals. We don't need to be doing it, yet we continue to do it. All right, so I don't know what it's saying. If we ate veggies, then we're not going to survive or something. An asteroid can come down. So this is another thing. So not anything that we can do will contribute. We get this a lot too. Like, whatever, the animal's dead already or whatever. So any movement and anything like it starts with one person, and you get more people involved, and you get more people, and it becomes a movement, right? You get more people and more people, more people. If everybody took the stance of like, it's dead already, we're not gonna do anything, none of this would have happened. None of these movements would have happened. And so we can't just say that like, oh, if we know that it's to be the wrong thing to be doing, or not the ideal situation, uh, why do we continue to partake in it? One of our excuses or justifications can't be, oh, other people are doing it, or it's just the way it is. Because we know, I mean, if you look, the deeper that you look into what's actually happening to the animals that we're consuming, that we ourselves, we're paying for each and every day. If we continue to consume animals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and their products, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we're continuing to pay, and that's going to continue to supply that, and we're increasing the demand. Right? It's just this sick cycle. So we have to break that cycle. We have to say, no, wait, like we should not have been doing this. Okay, I get we're doing it now, but we need to find a way to stop and get ourselves out of this. Right? That's the answer. And we all need to kind of head in that direction. I know it's hard for us to get and to understand, but we have to head in that direction. Right? That is the only option. All right. Let's see. All right, I think looks good. Not a chance I'll ever stop eating meat. No. I think we talked about that. Screw the vegans. Why? Why screw the vegans? People get mad. Why? Why? I think if we're opening it up, it needs to be looked at. Like, you have to understand, if you have a hard time looking at where your food comes from, you got to ask yourself why. Why do we have a hard time looking at where our food comes from? If vegans are so proud not to meat, then quit calling it meat. It's not that we're so proud not to eat meat, okay? I think we figured out, like, man, I just don't want to be participating in these animals' deaths and what happened to these animals. Like, I don't want my money going there. Like, that's just doesn't feel good to me, okay? And then if you look at, like, from the health perspective, wow, like eating plants and removing animal proteins and animal products from what we consume from our diet only makes us stronger, only makes us healthier. Is actually it reduces these bad things like from happening, all right, and increases good things from happening. So, everything points in that direction. I mean, you look at the environment standpoint. Look at all the pollution and everything that the animal agriculture causes. And I'm not really big into that, but I mean, all of the data and the information out there is pointing. It's like, oh my gosh, like we need to stop doing this. Like the amount of animals that we breed into existence year after year, I mean, billions. I mean, think about all of that. And it's like it's 2023. We have the ability to technologically produce what we need, and we have the technology to produce this stuff without having the need to harm animals, just like you and me. I think that's the big difference here. If you want to consume things and do things that aren't harming other beings, right? Like that's fine. That's okay. I still think you can be a kind person. You can be a non-violent person. But the moment that you think about we're continuing to contribute to, eating animals and contribute to the killing of the animals, the transport of the animals, the breeding of the animals, right? The moment that we do that, we're partaking in that. We are contributing. We are part of that call it violence, part of that death, right? So there's some bad things that are associated with that. Why do we continue to do so? Another thing that we think of or that we see is like, oh, okay, well, your plants, your pesticides, you're killing rodents and insects and things like that. Okay, yes, quite possibly we're partaking in vegetables and farmland that uses pesticides that, like, ideally, no, you don't want to use pesticides, but I get people have to for whatever reason. And again, have not looked into all of that research, but yes, okay, pesticides. We use pesticides on farmland, and you're killing rodents and things like that. Or I'm sure that happens. Okay, or you can breed actual animals into existence to stab them in the throat and to kill them and to have them suffer and just so we can eat them. Like, you pick which is the worst one to do. Okay, I think that we would all lean towards more of the less violent method, the less bad things happening. Even though bad things happening each way, yes, we can't stop everything. We don't live in a perfect world. But if you can pick and choose which one would you rather partake in, like which side would you rather be on? Like, I'd rather be on the side that causes less death, less harm, less violence. Okay, and then we could find ways to grow our vegetables without the need for pesticides, and there are out there. They absolutely are. They say, oh, you need more land. We already have enough land. This is a common response. We already have enough land. We have enough area. We feed all those plants right now to the animals. So that's not an issue. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna switch over here. How long we been on? We're going on 30 minutes. So again, appreciate you joining us. We're gonna switch over to. Let's see. We're gonna switch over to TikTok, and I'm actually gonna respond real time to some of these because I got 10 comments here, and we'll respond real time. So here they are. Oak Moose. I don't. Let's see here. Can I open this? And what is he gonna say?
Quit eating.
All right, I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna get down here. I'm gonna scroll down. Okay, so can you see? You guys can't see. Let me see. Okay, this goes behind me. Okay, so now you can see here. Quit eating animals. Okay, I don't know which one. Which one was his comment here? Must have been that one. Is this it? Okay, I guess I wasn't my apologies, but I hope you have a good day. And okay, Mr. Jones never got back to me. Okay, he didn't want to get back to me. All right, so let's go back to comment. Reply to your comment. I love eating. Look at this.
Quit eating.
All right. They're not sorted by date or anything. Okay, so I like to respond. Anyone that says no, here's what I do. Why not? Okay, so anyone that says no, if you're gonna drop comments and then just say no, I'm all right. Like, I want to go a little deeper into that. So I'm gonna respond with, why? Like, give me a little bit more than that, so we can help you, right? And it also helps when you type it out yourself. So when you respond like no, like that's opening up, your mind more than you think. Even though you first, like when you see this content, like it makes you feel like angry and mad. There's some people that get, real angry, but it's these normal feelings that you get when you're conflicted about something that, nobody likes killing animals or contributing to that. Like, I can guarantee it. And for those of you that think that you do enjoy killing animals, like hunting animals, like you're taught these things. And I think what you like about is the tradition of that, or the experience you had maybe with, your family and your dad taking you out to hunt, and these things that we're kind of, breeding into our own traditions and our own families so that we can continue them. But wait, I think we need to break that cycle. All right, we certainly need to break that cycle, because we can't just keep continuing to do this to these animals, right? It's just, people are going to look back and be like, why? What were we doing? Like, why would we be doing that? Okay, I don't know where that comment went or what he said here. Check your DM. Let me see. Who's checking my DM here? Who says? Okay. Let's talk Gabe. All right, Gabe. Let me see. Okay, why not, Gabe? He said, I genuinely like the taste of meat too much not to eat it. So this isn't about the taste. Like, this isn't about, this is not why people give up or quit eating animals. It's not because we're like, man, the taste of plant foods, or like you don't get there because we know, like I know, I've ate meat for 30 years, 30 plus years. Anyone that ate meat will tell you, like, we continue to eat meat because it tasted good. Like McDonald's burgers, I used to put French fries on McDonald's, a double burger, McDonald's, barbecue sauce and all, but these burgers, like chicken nuggets, like pizza with pepperoni, sausage, meat lovers, like, it was so good. Like, get it? We get it. Like, that is not why we quit eating animals. That's not why. But I can assure you that once you open up your mind to eating plants and vegetables, you can realize, or you'll realize that that you do like the taste of vegetables and plants, and you can get that texture to what you're used to eating. But I think that you have to understand what it is that we're actually eating. And it's the flesh and tendons and muscles of dead animals. And we have to think like why am I eating that? And you don't like the taste of just the tendons, muscles, and flesh. Like that doesn't taste good. Okay, you're used to the texture, but that doesn't taste good. What tastes good is you saute them, you put seasoning on them, you barbecue sauce, ketchup, mustard, like all of these things go together, and then you eat them. But you don't just like the muscles and tendons and flesh of these animals. That's not what we enjoy. That's not what you enjoy. Okay, so once you understand that and realize, like, hey, I don't need to contribute to the violence and suffering of an animal. I think most people you have to get there. If you look at it from the animal's perspective, and keep looking at it from the animal's perspective, and because we're connected to the animals, like I want you to get connected with your food. If you're connected with your food, you'd realize that you'd be connected to the animals. And then when you're connected to your food, to the animals, and you have no like there's going to always be that conflict because like you don't want to be partaking in what happened to that animal. But let's say you have a broccoli fettuccine is what we're going to be eating tonight. We're in charge of dinner, by the way. Trey's doing an awesome job. We're gonna I'll post a video of it, but we're getting this broccoli fettuccine, creamy southern vegan dish that we got from a right out of a book. And Trey did it. Trey did it all. He got all the stuff together. I mean, I kind of helped him, but we're gonna need to go to the store, pick up some fettuccine. But we're gonna do that shortly, and then we'll go ahead and post a video of that. But I think that's gonna come out real nice, oven baked. Broccoli little sprouts, seasoned them up. Got some nutritional yeast in there. We're gonna make a creamy fettuccine sauce. Oh, it's gonna be delicious. All right, so but you just have to change your mindset of like eating like, wow, these tastes and textures are so good. They remind me of the dishes that we're used to eating, but they're not full of violence and death and suffering. That's what you can feel good about. And so once you make that connection, and then, oh, by the way, like it's healthier and you feel better and you're not like and you're not like, you don't come across these videos and feel bad because you are connected with your food, because you can look down at a broccoli fettuccine and be like, go down there and say you don't have any feelings towards like the murder and the death of broccoli and fettuccine. Like they don't have like, and I mean, I have to go there for some people, but they don't have a central nervous system. They're not screaming, like there's no death and blood and violence behind making them. Whereas if you had a steak or a broccoli fettuccine with sausage and meat and other animal products, with a cream based fettuccine sauce with cow's milk, you're partaking in all of that bad things, or all those bad things that are happening behind the scenes. So let's not just look at the finished product. I want you to look at the entire process from start to finish. All right? That's what I really want. That's what I really want from you, from everybody. That's what I really want. All right, let's go back here. Let's go check your DM. I don't have messages. Do I have a DM? Let's see. I might. No, I don't have no DM. All right. Well, we don't have a DM. but now I can't get back. I'm gonna get back to my inbox here. Okay. All right. We'll see if easy. Flash Tapper, deer. It says deer. Like my video, deer. Okay, yes. Turkey and chicken, blah blah. All right. I don't know where the one is. I mean, it's nice carne asada. This is another good Pearson. All right, so this one, I'm eating this really nice carne asada taco right now. It hits real good right now. Like, out of all people, like I had Ava bring back. She went back to San Diego a couple years ago. Obviously, more than 6 years ago, but she went back to San Diego. And I love carne asada burritos so much from San Diego. This particular spot. I mean, no matter what spot you go in San Diego, like it was unreal. And so we used to go there a lot when we lived in San Diego in the military. But since we've been back over here, was craving it. I mean, anytime we went back, we had it. But Ava went back by her own. I had her purchase a carne asada burrito. I think 2 of them, potentially. I think it was 2, but right before she boarded the airplane, so she picked them up, went on the airplane, brought them over here. They were socked, but they were so delicious, so good. It hit the spot. So, like, out of all people I know, good person right here, man. I know how good carne asada burritos or tacos are right now. But that is, again, not the reason why we quit eating animals, okay? We started to learn about, like, wow, there's other options out there. Like, we don't need to be consuming animals. Like, wow, like, you can get all the protein you need from plant foods. And wow, like, we started to eat plant foods, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, we feel better. Like, we don't feel lethargic and tired after eating, a burger or a animal-based meal. So we just continued to learn more about vegetables, more about plants. We continued to eat them. We continued to learn how to make them. We continued to talk about them, kept learning, kept talking about them, learn, talk, and it was just this cycle. And then we just have not looked back since. And especially because we got into it like, hey, let's look at it from the animal's perspective. Let's really look at it from, like, what are the animals, like, what's happening to the animals? Right, like let's look at it from the animal's perspective, because the animals are just like us. Like, they have feelings, they have central nervous system, they have eyes, ears, and a brain, and they can think. Why are we putting these animals through what it is that they're going through? Like, why? I get if we needed to. I can understand if it was just one of the things like, wow, like, we just need to. Okay, we need to. It's proven. Okay, but it's not. It's not. We don't have to. It's proven that we don't have to. So the fact that we continue to do and look the other way, and continue to partake in this and just be like, it's just the way it is. And then we really look hard and find justifications that allows ourselves to do this. But I think the more and the harder that you look at the justifications that you're having or that you're telling yourself, that make you or allow you to continue to eat animals, that's what it is. All right. So we have to really look at that as justifications, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of justifications that we hear, and then once you satisfy one justification, you'll notice people shift right to another justification, and they'll shift to another one, and then they'll go ahead and say, well, plants have feelings too, right? And then they'll deflect, and so the common responses that you get when you actually look at the truth and the logic of what eating animals consists of, I think you're going to find that, like, there's really no argument against what we're talking about. Like, you can't continue to partake in that and feel good about it. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. I know what we're gonna do. So we were gonna go back. I'm gonna change the background, okay? Because again, let's go back here. So one of the comments back. Oh, by the way, do you like this background that we're in? Okay, we are in a transport truck, a slaughter truck with pigs. and you can see the windows that they have, the little windows, and these are very hard to see on the road. There's not a lot. I'm gonna say there's not a lot. There's a lot of them out there, but they're kind of in trucks that you just really don't realize that they're full of pigs or other animals in there, and they're headed, like right to a slaughterhouse, and they will go through a production line, and their death is imminent. Okay, and it was planned before they were even born. That's what it's like being an animal in this world today. These animals are bred into existence with their execution date already planned for them. Just like those buffalo out there. I mean, all of them will, lead, or it will eventually end in someone purchasing that and those animals dying so that people can have, bison flesh and meat to cook up at home when they don't have to. All right. But again, one of the comments that came up here, and we'll wrap this up here in a little bit right after this. But people talk about frog legs. So, I looked up like frog legs, and they're certainly sell them around here. But I think we got to really understand what like frog farms are look like, and like what is it that that is like do we want to be partaking in frog situations that are happening like this. So look at this, right? So this is a frog farm in China, and it is horrendous. If you zoom in, look at how many frogs. Like, look at them. They're packed in there. They can't move. They can't breathe. Like, this is not any life for frog. Like, this is terrible. This is not what we need to be participating in. Okay, like all of these frogs are growing, and and look, they just tick them in here, and then they put them in bags, and it's pretty terrible. Okay, not something that you need to do or want to be a part of, especially because I pulled up an article on this because I didn't know much about like frogs, but there was I think there was a video I came across. It had a lot of views, but it celebrated this big. This toad was huge. It was like this big toad, and they were celebrating the toad's birthday and had cake, and it was eating but it was pretty cool to see because people have frogs and toads as pets. Okay, and the article said that any toad or frog owner that you meet, they'll tell you that each of their frog, like, it has their own personality. Okay, and to me, again, they have everything that we have, right? So they have a brain, they have eyes, they have ear, they can hear, they can see, they know what's going on, and they can think. And so, to know that we, just for us, like why are we going to go ahead and participate and partake in things like this? Like, this doesn't make a lot of sense to be doing. And certainly for frog legs, this isn't something that, want to be participating in. It's just really not. It's just really not. So, that's it. That's what I got. That's it. I'm going to wrap this episode 3 up. I think, this is Sunday, February 19th, 2023. Appreciate you guys joining us. Hope you like some of our responses. If you got any questions, feel free to drop them. DM. I'm going to try to check my DMs on some of this and see if I can get some of these responses. But we'll continue to put out videos, continue to comment, continue to challenge yourself, continue to get reconnected with animals. I'm encouraging you. I know that you can do it. We did it. So you might get angry. You might be conflicted. You might challenge and say, but this and that, right? But you are slowly uncovering the onion, the shell. We have to start thinking differently of how we were indoctrinated, call it, into society, into this. You'll hear be called as a carnistic society. meaning meat eating is all around us. I mean, you go up and down the streets, you'll see, these fast food plates are all around, animal eating foods or all these animal foods. And, we're just born into this, and we're born into, this as being normal. When in fact, in reality, I mean, it's just really, there's nothing normal about it. And I think the way that it makes you feel should dictate and should start to, make you realize like, man, yeah, I really don't like seeing these frogs all bunched up on another, right? So, I may think twice about eating frog legs, or, like, yeah, wow, like look at these pigs, in the back of, this truck. Take a look at, like, right here. Look at this cow. Look at this cow. These cows in these transport trucks here, right? Like, with a tag on them. They're sent to slaughter. That's all they are, and it's an individual, and that's what I think is so astonishing. Is billions and billions of individuals with thoughts and feelings and personalities, all different personalities, or ends fate, the ending fate of each of those individual animals ends in somehow dying, uh being whether their throats are slit or shot or whatever. They ultimately die, just and then get put in packages, or they get chopped up, put in packages across the supermarkets for consumers to buy. So we'll keep talking about it. Again, we've been doing this 5-6 years being vegan, and all signs are pointing in like, man, we're going to be continuing to do this. We have so much energy. We feel so good. These options are just getting better. We're showing our kids how to make these plant-based foods. I'll continue to get better. And we're just getting started. We are just getting started, and it opens up a whole new world of vegetables and plants. So we're excited. We hope that you're excited too. Go ahead and click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Head on over to our website, www.quiteatinganimals.com. Grab a shirt, grab a reminder bracelet. We're going to be offering some more things in the future, but as we just continue to get these episodes going and these shows out there, hope that you enjoy them, hope that you get value out of them, hope that it engages you. And again, really appreciate your comments, because we'll get back to every single one of them. So don't feel, if I haven't got back, reply again. I will try to get back to, I have got back to every single person with some sort of response and engage. And again, I appreciate it, regardless of how, silly you think it is, but I'm not mad, not angry, because we were once there. Like, I've been on your shoes. I've been on that side. We've ate animals for over 30 years. So I understand, know where you're coming from. However, I think we were already not born. We were already like open to it, I think. And I think that we were already open to, once we heard or saw the footage and just we started to become like, soak in this knowledge of what's happening. It was pretty easy for us to be like, man, it just, the feeling that we get is too much, like, for us to continue to partake and participate and pay for that stuff. Like, it is too much. Like, we can look elsewhere. At least let's try to look elsewhere, okay? But I'm not gonna just go ahead and say like, I'm just never gonna do it. So let's give it a try. That's exactly what we did, and we haven't looked back since. All right. So you can do it too. I know you can do it. So I'm encouraging you. I know that you can do it. Check out the Panda Diet. That's on Facebook. There's some recipes there. We'll try to put out more recipes and things and show you what we eat. If you check the YouTube Shorts or TikTok Shorts, any food that we eat, I'll try to put together and show you the stuff that we eat. But it's been fascinating. Our journey has been awesome, and the kids have been involved, and they're just getting more involved. And I think this is going to be fun, because, this will start us conversating with others that are along their journey. or that you're not necessarily, you may not be there. You may not have given up eggs, but you want to, and you don't know how. By the way, I got a real good way to get rid of eggs. Like I mean, immediately gave up eggs after watching this or knowing this fact. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But you may not be there yet. You may have fish. You may eat occasionally. You may slip up, and that's perfectly okay. We are all human. We will all make mistakes. Okay, but I think what really matters is that we continue to try to get connected back with the animals. Okay, and with the animals that we continue to eat. And I think that you have to get back to connected with them because they're just like us. And I think that if you apply the golden rule, which is do unto others as you would want done unto you. So, like, let's treat others the way that you want to be treated. And I think that once you start treating others or looking at, like, wow, like, I don't want to be treating others like that. I don't want others and animals qualify as others, right? I don't want others to feel the way that, they do inside these slaughter trucks. So why am I going to participate in that? Let me find a different option. All right. So, don't take my word for it. Look out there. There are options out there that you will love and enjoy. You just have to be open. Your mind has to be open to it. And I know that you can do it. All right, I've rambled on too much here. Not too much, but just an hour. So I appreciate you spending an hour with me here. This is episode 3 of the Quit Eating Animals show, February 19th, 2023. Again, you can quit eating animals. I know that you can. All right, so go ahead, make some plant-based options. If you got any questions, comment below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel. Until the next episode or video, peace.